I'm allowed to sound like a racist. The rest of you guys have to stay somewhat proper.
That's not fair.
Welcome back to the Words I Heard show, guys. We're going to be getting back into the randomizer and topics and stuff. Leave your comments down below.
We're going to randomize that shit.
Yeah. Keep your topics. Leave your topics down below in the comments so that we can throw them in the randomizer. And if it gets picked, great. You can also tag on a request onto the randomizer, and we'll try to fulfill that to the best of our ability.
It looks like Mike has something to say.
I thought I did.
He's just like
he's like deep in thought.
You guys are like, do you want to do a show where the entire premise is speaking? And I'm like,
I don't know if I can handle that.
that's pretty much it. So what are we doing?
All right,
today for the
let's
topic?
let's
drop
randomize
topic.
some stuff.
out of the randomizer.
And boom.
What do we got?
A mistake. The hat told us that we're going to speak about protesting today.
Wait,
Oh.
the hat?
It's a little hat.
It's a little hat app.
Oh, I get it. So the app makes it like we're drawing topics out of a hat.
It looks like a hat on the app.
Looks like a top hat.
That's ingenious.
I like top
Maybe we should just
hats.
discuss the app then.
Welcome to the show, Greg.
Welcome to the show, Greg. Yeah.
Protesting.
protesting.
That's big lately.
How so? Like, I mean,
I
other than
protest-
civil
What
I mean,
unrest.
how so?
Other than civil unrest. I haven't
Other
seen
than a
any-
lot of protests.
I mean, I've seen a lot of like civil unrest. Like,
That's I would call a protest civil unrest.
well, okay.
They just all need Pepsis.
Yeah.
That's just, okay. Sure.
The drink of a new generation.
So,
Oh my god.
so yeah, I'm sure.
Well, we could talk shit about that because they've pulled out as a YouTube sponsor, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Or no, they didn't pull out entirely. They have become selective
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
about their shit. But because I said the word shit,
they're
We're-
definitely not going to select us anyway, even before you said shit.
exactly. So for at one of the launch sites for a lot of satellites and rockets, it's in French Guiana or something or other. I don't know. I'm not a geologist.
French guana. Go on.
Didn't even catch on the fact that it said geologist. Okay, cool. Anyway, there's been some civil unrest there, and a lot of
It makes sense because you'd have to study the rocks in your head.
What?
A lot of rockets haven't been able to be launched, and it's because people are like on launch pad and like just otherwise being a nuisance, and
Why?
you can't because they're pissed.
About.
Oh, I have no clue. All I know is that there's a bunch of French people that are pissed, and we can't launch rockets.
But those are your people. You should know what they're
All,
upset
yeah,
about.
all French people are pissed.
all French people are no.
Let's get that out of the
I was gonna
way.
say, all French people are just pissed.
I don't
all
know
the
if all
time.
French people are always pissed, but they always
No, we are.
sound like they're pissed.
We're always pissed.
You're thinking of Germans.
You're thinking.
Um,
But no, I was thinking specifically of a certain coworker that
um,
you know who you are. You probably won't even watch this episode, so.
but no, I guess the big things with protesting has been it's sort of been the center focus of a lot of people's lives since Trump took office.
Oh, okay, you mean yeah. Well, I mean that's the thing. They've realized. Oh, well, he's gonna fuck up our health care.
I mean, they realized. They're just cluing into it now.
Yeah,
Some of them are.
A lot of them. A lot of them are just
They're-
cluing.
The ones that
it's
voted
not-
for him.
The ones that voted for him are now just cluing in. Like, oh, we made a terrible, terrible mistake.
But
How do
there's
we
still
go back?
some
Well,
that
did you
voted for
see
him that still stand
somebody was
behind
talking
him.
to him about his first 100 days in office?
Yeah, he thought it'd be easier.
Yeah, I thought it would be easier.
I mean, his also when he said he's like, we're working very hard on this whole healthcare thing. Who knew that the healthcare would be so hard?
It would be
Everyone
such a
fucking
hot
knew.
topic.
Right? So like they're like freaking out, and there's this whole big thing about it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. They there's a lot of things that I guess sort of come to light that, like, you know, hopefully, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I hope he fails, I hope he fucks up. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah, that wouldn't end well.
Because that affects everybody. That's like sitting on a plane going, "Oh, that pilot's a dick. I hope he crashes." Like, you know what I mean? Like you have to sort of work with the cards that are dealt.
And that's the thing, right? Is that there's one guy that here on YouTube, Philly D, Philip DeFranco, and
I love Philly D.
he didn't vote for president. He voted for all the propositions that came up, you know, like a responsible human. But he says, no, this is a dumpster fire. I am not voting for president. I guess especially in the state of California, where it did not matter who he voted for. You know, it still wasn't going to be. It was decided there. Anyway, the main thing that he said is like he's like, I am not going to say that I do not wish that he would be he's elected. You know, I'm not going to say, you know, this is not my president. He is my president. I'm just not hopeful here. I don't really expect too much from this. I hope he does a good job.
Yeah.
Well, to hope that he would fail.
Exactly. No, he's like I don't want him to fail. I want this country to succeed.
But that's the thing that boggles my mind is there are so many Americans that are like, this guy's an idiot. I hope he screws up. I hope he blah blah blah. I'm like, guys,
yeah. Well,
then
they can
screw yourselves over if that's the case.
Then they can impeach him. But
Yeah.
what I think they're hoping for is like a middle ground scenario, when they should be hoping for a best case scenario. Best case scenario. Is he smartens up and does an all right job and steps out. They're hoping for he fucks up a little bit and they just impeach him. And then the worst case scenario is just
they blow up.
Is he just really fucks up.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, to pray for the middle ground as opposed to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everybody will always hope, whether they, you know, if they absolutely dislike somebody, you shouldn't hope.
That's honestly, that's like the difference between hoping to never get in a car crash, hoping that if you get in a car crash that you're not hurt, or hoping that you crash your car and you die. And instead of picking the obvious choice of, I hope I never get into a car accident, people are saying, well, I hope I get into a car accident, but I survive it. Like,
in this case, you can replace car accident with, I'm going to jump into this dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, speaking of dumpster fires,
I hope we put the fire out. I hope the fire doesn't kill me. I hope the fire destroys everything.
Speaking of dumpster fires, this was originally about protesting. So, I watched a video the other day. It was probably one of the funniest videos that I've ever seen. It was just some vlog of a guy who went to a protest to try to hand out Pepsis.
Yes, I was going to bring that
up. I forget who did it. I forget his name. But it was absolutely fantastic.
It was perfect
to see somebody in an area where you had Antifa and Trump supporters.
Yep.
Completely like
getting into it.
They were like, there was like nonstop like physical fights and stuff. And I mean, this is at UC Berkeley, which is like 90% of the protests right now, right? And even the cops at one point were like, "Fuck this," and they just bailed because
we're
it was
not
so
getting
bad.
Involved.
Yeah,
Fuck this noise.
And to see like these two people were so passionately divided, and then this other guy is just walking around with a Pepsi, going, "Just follow the dumpster, that'll be safe." And there's like a dumpster like rolling down the street, and he's like following the dumpster, and then all of a sudden, cut to like people physically just like beating the shit out of each other on the dumpster. He's like, the dumpster is not as safe as I thought. Or these two guys are fighting on the ground, and he goes up and he like puts a Pepsi like next to his foot.
Doesn't the Pepsi get like kicked out of the way or something? I don't remember.
Yeah, people were like he set a Pepsi down. There was this huge like there was a moment of silence, of no fight between the two sides of this protest, and they're just standing there like at a face-off, and he walks between them and puts a Pepsi down on the dumpster, and then there's like a pause for a minute, and one of the guys picks it up and whips it at the crowd, and then they all go nuts again. Like,
he started it.
No, that's not what the Pepsi's for.
Yeah.
The fight, the catalyst for that fight was the Pepsi, and that's just awesome. I mean, have you been ever been hit with a can of Pepsi?
It was
Not a full
open.
one.
It was open.
It was an open can of Pepsi. Okay, never mind.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like that guy who threw the beer at the baseball player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he like whipped it down on him. That would hurt.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's just sports riots. Like you get all like
so there's riots where people are passionate about something that affects their lives, and then there's soccer hooligans.
Well, I'm talking like I'm specifically talking hockey riots. Like after
Vancouver.
the fact, right? Vancouver is exactly it, right? It's like
We don't talk about Vancouver. That never happened.
The Canucks.
Yeah. Hockey fans don't talk
If
about
we-
Vancouver.
Which is weird because it's like all right, so all the white hockey fans in Vancouver started rioting, and it's like, oh, well, white people are a minority in Vancouver, and we just made ourselves look really shitty over there.
I honestly think that the Vancouver riots was less about the hockey team and more about a few actual fans got upset.
Yeah.
And then other people that don't even know what hockey is were like, hey, those guys are causing a bunch of shit. Let's join in.
Well, come on.
And then by the end of it, like 90% of the crowd was just people that had
It's-
no idea what was going on.
It's all crowd mentality. If somebody's like destroying a car in the streets and there's crowds of people doing it and the cops aren't intervening,
Join in.
I mean, well, do you remember when there was all the rioting that was happening, and that guy's mom came in?
No.
Do you remember this? So there's this kid who was he's like 17 years old. He's got like a bandana and a hood and his backpack, and he's all in black, and they're rioting. I forget where this was. This was before Trump,
Okay.
when they had that riot. They had to declare a state of emergency in the city or something.
okay, yeah, yep.
Yeah, I forget where it was, but anyway, there's a video of this kid. He's rioting, and he's like whipping stuff at the cops, like he's throwing like rocks and like chunks of bricks and stuff. This might have been the riots around some of the
The police brutality ones?
yeah. I think that's what it was. And all of a sudden, this mom just comes into frame with
I
like a
think I do know what
total
you're
like
talking about.
mom demeanor, and just marches up to him and just grabs him by the back of the neck and starts like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Get home! And like totally just like wrangled him home.
It's funny because like the cops are probably like just staring at, not touching that. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, fuck, get more moms in here.
Yeah. Call all their moms.
Let's go. They're marching down one street with their riot shields, and then like the next street, there's just a bunch of moms with like wooden spoons, just like.
Oh my god. So
Have you guys ever been a part of a protest?
No.
I have actually. As odd as
That
it
doesn't
was.
surprise me.
Well,
Not
here's-
because you cared about it.
no, not at all.
Were you there for a girl?
No. So
It was there because it was
In-
happening.
Were you there because there was alcohol?
no. I was like 12.
I stand by my statement.
It was. I was so. Yeah, no. In my hometown, they were shutting down the hospital. They were going to turn it into like just a 9 to 5 type of
Clinic.
clinic type dealio. And everyone was blocking off one of the streets in Minnow. Not one of the main streets. You could literally just go around it and no one would really give a shit. But one of the streets was blocked off for some reason. It was by Town Hall. And yeah, there's just a bunch of people. There's a couple guys in wheelchairs.
They were like picketing.
Yeah, they were just picketing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they actually need the wheelchairs, or were they just sitting in the wheelchairs
They're
to get
just
attention?
sitting in the wheelchairs and like using wheelchairs to kind of
Gotcha.
make a point, right? Something. It
Because
was
it was a hospital protest.
it's the hospital protest,
Okay.
right? So I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, I mean, it was peaceful. Everything was fine. My father, fucking idiot,
Worked at the hospital, right?
He worked at the hospital in or works there in Fredericton. Yeah.
Okay.
Like years and years now. This at the time he wasn't, but he was driving. He was driving past this protest, and he saw one of the signs that said, I don't know, "fuck the government" or something like that. And so, my father puts the window down and says, "Yeah, fuck the police," and everyone just stares at him, including the cops. that are just standing there and like picketing too, right? Like they're there because they're part of the community, right?
That's not even like.
It's just
That's not even really.
it's not like an angry protest.
Yeah, it's not
It was
a
like
riot
just
or anything.
It was a demonstration of this community.
Yeah.
This is what this community thinks of this decision.
Like
you
a
know, this is
legitimate
what we're looking
peaceful
at.
protest.
Until your dad shows up.
peaceful
Fuck the
protest.
police.
Fuck the police.
Your dad starts tear gassing himself. Like, yeah.
Fuck.
Got
Just
him.
dumb as fuck, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, other than that,
At least now we know where you get it from.
no.
But I mean, like, do you think that, like, I know 90% of the protests that we're gonna see ever that make an impact are always the violent ones, unfortunately, because they're the ones that people report on.
Yeah, that's the ones the news are going to talk about.
Yeah, because they're not going to talk about the ones where a bunch of people peacefully stood outside
Hand
of a
Pepsi
building.
back and forth. I'm convinced
They're
that
not-
actually happens out there somewhere, but we never see it because the news refuses to report on
They're,
it.
they're not gonna. Yeah, what I'm saying is that they're not gonna report on the peaceful one where somebody's standing there with a picket, with like a sign, and they're just like, "Sign our cause," and somebody walked by and said, "I don't agree with it," and they were just like, "That's okay."
Here,
and then,
have
like,
a sandwich.
and then they just sort of move on.
Well, I mean, unless you're talking about like abortion clinic, you know.
No, those are awful.
Yeah, those never
Well,
end.
no,
well.
and that's the thing. They always get picked up. Well, even if it's like peaceful,
This is a hot topic.
as peaceful as abortion can be, as long as no one's like
What's more peaceful than
being
I'm not gonna
murdered.
go there.
That's abortion jokes are.
Yeah,
We're
but,
gonna go there.
but the people, the thing with the abortion protests is that people are being they're being ridiculed, they're being
they're being
berated.
slut shamed. It's
Yeah.
just no. In most cases, in like 99% of the cases, but they almost always get picked up on, of course, in the news.
yeah.
But I mean, even if there's not like a fight that breaks out or anything, I mean, that's like all the standard abortion clinic protests.
Right,
Yeah,
because
well-
even if there's not a fight, there's always nastiness of some kind involved in those types of
Yeah.
protests.
Well,
That's why.
because people disagree, right?
Yeah.
My wife did when she was going to school for photography. She did a project where she went to go do a photo session of a protest that was happening, and it happened to be of the abortion clinic. So her and her classmates went down. There's like 5 of them, and they were doing the photos, and she said it was the most disturbing thing in the world.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the people decided to start using these photographers. They thought they're not reporting on this disgusting display of hatred. They were like, oh, this is our platform. So they started trying to use like this photography as a platform, and it just
It's a school project.
yeah.
A, it's a school project, and B,
Idiots.
I mean, it was a college project.
Oh, sure.
like, yeah.
Still,
But yeah, they ended up not using like anything that they got from this protest. But yeah, but apparently like just screaming into the camera and stuff. And it's like
Even
you're
though
not putting yourself in a good light.
it's also not video, is it?
No.
Yeah, I know. It was.
So when the picture is snapped of somebody angrily screaming into a camera, and it's like, this person is anti-abortion, and it's like, whoa, they don't look like a good person. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So like, I think a lot of people get overly passionate, and then they don't get their point across.
yeah.
There's a lot of the protests, like there was down at the building downtown.
That building,
oh yeah, wait. I guess
The,
the bar,
No, the I forgot what it's called.
just
the Parliament building.
just the
It's not Parliament.
just town office basically, or town hall, effectively.
It's not Town Hall either.
Are you talking like right in front, like where the fountains are? Like anyway, so somewhere's downtown. Carry on. Carry on. Just doesn't matter. They don't care where
The
it
building
is.
where the premier works out of. Anyway,
Sure.
That's the Parliament building.
No, it's not. Parliament is in Ottawa.
No, but it's still.
Yeah, no,
No, it's not.
it's the Fredericton.
Yeah.
No, there's a different name for the constituents and provincially.
So what happened there?
Anyway, so they had gone to do a protest on the abortion laws and rules, and they had gone up and they laid down, and they were like, this is the amount of people that are killed based on blah blah blah, and they just laid there silently, and it was like, okay, they got their point across, and then the other side starts screaming. It's like you're not doing yourself any favors.
No.
You're
right.
gonna
It's the legislative building.
Thank you. The legislature.
That works.
It was gonna bug me.
But yeah, so like there's certain protests and there's
Well-
certain ways that you can get your point across, but like
That there was something happened with Trump a few months back.
What?
And
Nothing ever happens with Trump.
people were protesting and rioting all across the world for some reason. I can't remember what it was, but here in Fredericton, a bunch of people gathered downtown.
oh, it was the it was because they didn't want him to be elected president.
Oh, so straight up, that's all. it
And
was, yeah.
no, it was after it had come out when he had made those comments about grabbing women and
Okay, yeah.
being incredibly
Oh, I
misogynistic.
thought you were going to say it
And-
was they were protesting the end of The Apprentice.
No, they were protesting him being to be dropped as the party nominee.
Yeah.
And because of the misogynistic whatever.
Yeah.
So there was a big I forget what it was called, but I remember it was centered around women's rights and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
The sad part is I feel like that whole quote-unquote scandal got him more votes than it did people voting against
most
him.
definitely.
Got
Yeah.
more attention.
That's what I mean.
He just tells us how it is. You know, I like this guy. He's gonna be my president.
Well, Jim Jeffrey said, if you say that you like him because he's a straight talker, then you're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Because all he says is like buzzwords of like little things, but he never explains how or why or anything like that. And he was just like, what did he say? He said Trump comes out and he's like, I'm gonna build a wall, and he's like, I got one of those at home.
Yeah, I have a wall.
I have a wall at home. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We're going to build a wall to
huge.
keep those Mexicans out. I hate my neighbors.
I have a wall.
So I mean, he does a very good job at that.
No, he's not a straight talker. I don't know. Hopefully, like the most sensible thing that he said in his presidency recently was that he is hoping that the North Korea debacle comes to a democratic end.
Which it won't at this point. North Korea is fucked.
But at the same
Sure, it
time,
was Trump that said that.
he did.
Interesting.
I don't think Trump wants to. He doesn't want to orchestrate a war. I don't think.
Then why is he doing such a damn good job of it?
Because he's an idiot. It doesn't mean he wants to.
Nobody's that stupid. Like, I'm convinced that he's orchestrating
Here's
the
no,
downfall
no,
of the United States from the
Here's the-
inside.
he definitely is trying to start a war.
You know, no, he does. I think he wants to wall off America and live in this happy little utopia that he thinks that can thrive just in America. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think he wants a war. I think he wants to be like, I want to kick these people out, and then they're like, okay, and then they just go. He just wants people to leave them alone peacefully and segregate themselves.
But that's my point. If that's what he wants, why even involve himself with North Korea at all? Because they had nothing to do with America.
You have to, Greg,
Why, though?
because
If he wants to live in his own little bubble, is what I'm saying, then why would he?
because you can't pull out of certain global agreements that
Also
are put
true.
in place.
I don't know. He's tried to do that,
The whole-
too.
He actually that is fair. He has been trying to pull
Yes.
out of the UN for a while.
And
No,
NAFTA.
No.
He threatened to
he threatened to, even though that
he specifically said he doesn't want to pull out
now,
of NAFTA.
but before that, he was threatening to do it.
he was, yes.
Who cares about
So
that?
as
That has
far as
nothing
the
to do with
whole
war.
as far as the whole starting a war thing, he most definitely wants to start a war. Remember how he fired off, what was it, 59 missiles, or was it
The Moab.
the Moab, the mother of all bombs? So it actually stands for something else, but
Yeah.
it's so when he
So he bombed ISIS.
but
Here's me playing the devil's advocate.
But-
Instead of screaming
Hold
"but" a bunch of
on.
times, you can let me get my point out and then say it.
We're
Okay.
having our own little protest
Go
here.
ahead.
This is
Go ahead.
This is turning heated,
I'm gonna
guys.
destroy it.
I can feel the heat in the room.
So, when you are a country of power, who is
It's getting serious.
in
now.
charge
He's
with
crossed his legs.
when you have certain allies and a government body or somebody attacks a country and the UN says, well, allies have to take action.
Sure.
What do you
Okay.
do?
What do you do? Okay, so here's the thing. He forgot which whose fucking country he bombed?
Yeah, he forgot it, but he didn't bomb the wrong one. Yes, in an interview he said, Iran, you screw up words 400 times a day.
Not the point. He was fully set in his story. He remembered the piece of cake, the beautiful, wonderful piece of chocolate cake that he had with the
But
fucking Chinese
That,
something or other.
that doesn't blow out the actions out.
The fact
That doesn't change what happened. That just
No.
changes what he said. So
here's the
he
thing.
s-
Iran is
so he
definitely
said
on his
the wrong
mind.
thing. I told somebody that I once owned a Mazda. I don't.
He's the
That doesn't
fact.
change my car model.
That's
No.
a declaration of war,
The
Michael.
fact.
Fuck.
The fact that he had his mind set on Iran in that moment, in that basically he's just trigger happy. He's
No.
waiting for an excuse. He is 100% waiting for an excuse.
I was gonna stay out of this, but I have to agree with Mike. It's just because he's a fucking moron.
Yeah.
He
just,
has no idea what
just-
comes out of his mouth.
just because
Have
he's
you read his
dumb doesn't
Twitter?
mean he doesn't mean that like. So they bombed Syria for they bombed a certain part of Syria for a reason. They didn't bomb Iran. Even if he said that, even if he slipped up in an interview, it's not like he bombed Iran and went, "Oops."
Here's the deal with this. The targets that they bombed, Mike's right. They were strategic, proper
course.
targets.
No, sure,
But that's
I'm not
because
doubting
the
that.
people in charge of the military, who's not Donald Trump,
Of course.
know what they're doing, and they did the right thing.
Sure.
They just kind of told, well, assuming.
Let-
But what I'm saying is,
They
they're the ones that
need
made those
Trump's
decisions.
permission to do it.
They just told
ultimately.
Trump we're doing the right thing. Then Trump's like, "Yeah, we bombed Iran." Like, no, Trump, it wasn't Iran. He's like, "Oh, he has no idea what's going on."
Which is even fucking worse.
No, I know, but that doesn't mean he's
fact that
trying
he doesn't
to
know
cause
what
a war.
the fuck he's
The
doing.
presidents have always been a puppet of
Yeah.
of everybody playing behind the scenes.
Exactly.
The difference is that there's certain presidents who knew how to present themselves.
Yes.
Now, and that does not mean I'm defending Trump. Don't worry.
No.
Like I don't condone his actions or
Not at
anything.
all.
But what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is,
He's too
his
dumb.
words don't change the country that was bombed.
Yeah.
So, trying to move back in towards.
No.
Okay, Trump has just caused way too many riots and too many arguments. So, fuck that.
Has he caused the riots, or did the people reacting to him cause the riots?
You could say cause and effect.
Did the chicken come first or the
Yeah,
egg?
the chicken, the Trump or the protest.
Yeah, the Trump or
Did
the
the toupee
protest.
come
That's
first,
the new chicken
or
or egg.
did yeah?
So I guess the whole protest thing, and the weird part is that there's probably some really significant protests around the world that mean something that we're not hearing about because
of-
everybody's protesting
Peacefully.
Trump.
Yeah.
Well, even that. I mean, even like just media coverage on those,
Mhm.
on those key protests that are going on, but we don't hear about because there's zero media coverage. That's just how it is.
I don't know. I hope for the best for America.
I
I hope for the best for the entire world, even North Korea, believe it or
because
not.
it directly affects us.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the North Korean people,
Yeah.
right? Like they're great people, probably. Most of them, some when they're sending them over the wall, they're not sending their best. They're rapists, they're drug dealers. Some of them, I assume, are good people.
You do realize
But-
that North Korea doesn't send anyone over the wall. If someone gets passed out of North Korea, it's because they had to fight to get out.
The bad hombres stay
Yeah.
in North Korea. I don't know.
I
Good.
think it's
How
time
about
to rein this in.
Yeah.
This is getting too heated for me. I can't. It hurts my heart to see you two argue like that.
Well,
Like,
probably
just
it probably
upsets me.
rip every headphone viewer.
I was gonna say we probably just completely bombed out the audio quality there for a bit when.
God,
See what I did there?
Wow.
Lessons learned.
Lessons learned.
Alex is passionate
About-
about protest.
for somebody who co-hosts a show called Words Are Hard, you are passionate about people getting their words right.
Absolutely. Well, especially when it's about bombing a completely different country than what you actually bombed. You fucking idiot.
Oh fuck,
Trump.
whatever. So
Fuck Trump.
so he gave Fox News some misinformation, like they're not going to spin it anyway.
Yeah, this is Fox News we're talking about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Biggest lessons learned is look forward to the very unpeaceful protests outside of my house, based on our opinion.
We'll be waiting, guys.
Thanks for watching that episode of the Words Are Hard Show, guys. Leave your comments down below of future topics so that we can put them in the hat and then pick them out and then talk about them. You can leave a request, like I said, on the comment, and we will try to fulfill that to the best of our ability. If you want to check out more of our stuff, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, Google+, and that's probably it. If you want to check out our... we have shirt stores. We have a shirt store. You can wear our stuff. We want our faces on your chest. If you want to check out a prior video, there's going to be a link between me and Mike. And if you want to... Or between... Okay, yeah. One of these is going to be a subscribe button. The other one will be a link to the prior video. You'll see it on the screen eventually. And as always, thanks for watching.